I'm calling it now. Ja Morant is going to completely take over the NBA. His recent performances have been amazing, and it really makes you wonder what else he has in store for us. His rise has been a sight to behold. When Memphis Grizzlies GM Zach Kleiman predicted that Morant would be at the 2022 All-Star Game, his words were met with what seemed like skepticism, all too aware of the fact that rookies rarely make it to such an elite level at such a young age. But when Ja Morant stepped up to the plate and earned himself a starting spot at the game tonight, it was clear that Kleiman's prediction had come true. Morant is not just an all-star, he's also a top player in the NBA, with his name being whispered among the MVP race. His stats this season are nothing short of jaw-dropping. 16.4 points in the paint per game, 4th in two-point field goals made, 10th in points and free throws, 6th in box plus minutes, 5th in usage rate, and 9th in assist percentage. All of that combined makes him one of the best players in the NBA by any metric you measure him by. It's incredible to think that he has 1 year remaining on his rookie contract. Who knows what heights Morant is capable of reaching once he signs with a new team? When you take a look back at where Ja started from, it can be pretty amazing to watch him.
Morant inside for the tomahawk dunk. 3 at the top. Good! Ja Morant.
His rise was rapid. Ja Morant is a unique story, one of humble beginnings and ambitious dreams, achieved through sheer hard work and dedication. He's come a long way since his rookie year in Memphis 2 years ago, from flying on private jets to the All-Star Game this weekend to hyping up his teammates on social media. Morant shows love and respect to everyone who has helped him along the way, understanding that for him to reach the next level, those around him need to be supported as well. His energy and enthusiasm have been integral in helping lead the Memphis Grizzlies from an overachieving team with a determined spirit, spearheaded by Dylan Brooks' tenacity, to one that is now a beacon of love for the game and each other, with Ja's fingerprints all over it. Dreams of an NBA Finals appearance may not have seemed so realistic at the beginning of this decade, but now, thanks to Morant's relentlessness and passion, they are within reach as early as this season. It was certainly a calculated risk for the Memphis Grizzlies to stay put at the trade deadline, but betting on Morant is a risk worth taking. But he's not just any average player. His skill set will leave you amazed. He's essentially the puzzle piece that the Grizzlies were missing. Ja Morant is a one-man wrecking crew, and it's no surprise that the Memphis Grizzlies are on an 11-game winning streak with him leading the charge. His ability to create space with his quickness and ball control, combined with his impressive shooting ability, make him difficult to guard one-on-one. For instance, he gets the highest points per possession of any player in isolation situations. But then, add on top of that his tremendous pick-and-roll game, and you get an even more varied attack that keeps defenses guessing. Ja loves to set a screen and quickly drive to the basket.
Opening round series, Morant. Oh! A jawbreaker!
Or pull up for a floating jump shot if he finds himself isolated against the defense.
The bench still standing.
Adams going long. Morant!
Plus, he is an excellent passer, with the ability to make quick and precise passes in tight spaces.
With all Killian Tilly checks in. Look at this pass to Tillman. Sensational shot dropper.
With all these tools at his disposal, Morant has become one of the most complete point guards in the NBA today. And that's exactly why the Grizzlies have been able to win 11 straight games with Ja leading them from the front. His ability to break down defenses and create offense makes him a key piece of the puzzle for Memphis this season. You can only imagine what kind of robot hero he'll be able to form with his teammates by the end of the season. More recently, Ja Morant made a play that even his opponents had to appreciate. It was the Indiana dunk heard around the world.
Morant against McConnell. Pick and roll. Morant. Oh, my word! Holy cow!
Everyone has been eagerly waiting for Ja Morant to pull off something special, and he did not disappoint. The Memphis Grizzlies guard had a huge night against the Indiana Pacers on January 15th, but it was his dunk that really stole the show. On one possession, he cut through the defense and drove to the rim with such force that Jalen Smith, the Pacers center, had no chance of blocking it. The dunk was so powerful that even Morant himself couldn't believe it and looked to his bench in shock before quickly celebrating. On the other hand, hand, Smith should be commended for even attempting to prevent such an unstoppable jam from happening. He is currently averaging a career high in blocks per game and block percentage this season, so he's definitely improved his defensive presence on the court. He even blocked 2 other shots later on in the game, including one from Zaire Williams less than 100 seconds after Morant's highlight play. All in all, the dunk will go down as one of the signature plays from Morant's career. Even Smith had to give it up to him and noted that every shot blocker is going to get dunked on once in a while. We just have to hope for more of these incredible highlights from Ja Morant and the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies squad, because it truly makes the game of basketball all that much more enjoyable. But while Ja may be enjoying his success, things got a bit ugly for him at a recent game. His dad got into a fight. It was a chaotic scene at Crypto.com Arena on Friday night.
And T. Morant, Ja Morant's dad, comes over. Had an opportunity to talk to T. Morant.
As Hall of Famer and Fox personality Shannon Sharpe sparked an altercation with the entire Memphis Grizzlies team, and specifically T. Morant, father of Ja Morant. Things started when Sharpe heckled Dillon Brooks as he walked by courtside towards the tunnel at the end of the first half. Brooks then engaged Sharpe in a heated exchange.
Dillon Brooks was having words with Shannon Sharpe, Hall of Famer and broadcast,
prompting the entire Grizzlies bench to rush towards him, led by 6'11" center Steven Adams. Security was quick to intervene and break up the altercation before it got too out of hand. T. Morant then came up from the side and headed straight for Sharpe, shouting and pointing. Security had to separate the two before walking them off in different directions. This was not what anyone expected to see at a basketball game. I mean, we always expect action whenever Ja is in court, but it seems like we also need a second camera to follow his dad around wherever he goes. But that wasn't the end of it. The two eventually met again. After the altercation between Shannon Sharpe, T. Morant, and the entire Memphis Grizzlies team, things began to settle down. TMZ reported that security eventually escorted Sharpe into the tunnel after their exchange. He eventually returned for the third quarter of the game, much to everyone's relief. After everything died down, Sharpe spoke to ESPN about the situation, saying that the Grizzlies players didn't want this smoke, and that it all started with Dillon Brooks. It seemed as if things were finally cooling off after the heated exchange. However, Dillon Brooks had some final words to share following the game. He said that Sharpe should have never returned for the third quarter, and that he was just a regular pedestrian.
A regular pedestrian like him? No. He shouldn't have never came back in the game. But
everything had calmed down enough for the two sides to make up eventually. Sharpe and Ja's father T were seen shaking hands after all of the commotion.
Hey, you I need to see one text that you showed me that you said you gonna keep it.
Seemingly putting an end to one of the wildest scenes in recent memory. It looks like everyone is okay and the situation has been resolved, but it's definitely something that won't be forgotten anytime soon. Do you think Ja Morant is the future? We'll see you in the next one.
Now look at his party, he windmills this. Look at the windmill. Head on the rim.